Excuse me, buddy. Oof. I should restart it.
Should I put it right here or right here?
For audio? It records audio from there.
Oh, so I don't even have to use?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a camera. It still records audio.
So you could just put the audio into the podcast.
Yeah.
And just on YouTube.
You could just upload the... That's an eraser. That's...
Guys, welcome to a new podcast.
It's all... Ugh. Feel this. It feels like gum.
I thought
It feels like chewed up gum.
Oh, I had a bad idea for a minute. I was like, yeah,
you were going to bite it.
I was like, let me take a bite just to see what it's like. Smells... Well, it smells...
Like a
Not
rubber.
bad for what it is. Rubber has a kind of good smell.
I feel like I can easily like rip this, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
Maybe is this supposed to be like one of those artists erasers? Like it's super gummy.
And where'd you get it from?
Guys, welcome to the it came with this.
Guys, welcome back to another podcast.
Guys, welcome to the podcast. Oops.
Let's just take one hop, two skips, three jumps right into it. What are some wins for you?
Wins?
Wins? I like to. Let's
Hold
start
on.
with some
Buddy
wins.
needs to stop licking my foot. Buddy. Go.
Guys, in the comments below, is it okay for a dog to lick?
Not constantly.
Why not?
Because it gets annoying. They become dependent.
I mean, Woody and Sassy do it, but
Like
Take 'em
Miles,
out. Put 'em
like
in the room,
Miles, his licking is a problem.
Miles, yeah, because he's too big.
It's a sign of anxiety. And you have to push your dog off and be like, hey, there's nothing to be anxious about. Wish I could tell myself the same thing.
I
Wish I could tell you the same thing.
You could put Woody inside. I mean,
Buddy?
Buddy.
Nah, he'll just scratch up the door.
Well, that's even ruder.
It really is. We need to put the acrylics in here. I'll get started on that. You talk.
Okay, so I was gonna say we start with some wins, thing I got from work. But for this, things we feel accomplished about, accomplishments, things we've done recently, things that are cool. You feel like to bring to?
Got a new job.
Oh yeah, where at?
Well, I took the shirt off, specifically not to say where.
At a place that's
But it's the
of,
opposite
this shirt.
of my current shirt, if you could even see it.
Let's just say he talks to people on the phone sometimes.
No, I've talked to him in person all the time.
Well, sometimes you talk to them on the phone.
No. Oh, at my old job? Yes.
At this job.
No, it's all in person.
Are you in like a different role than you were at the other place?
It's not corporate. Before, what I was doing was corporate. This isn't. This is like a hub.
Oh,
And
okay.
so people can come in to ask questions.
Oh, I thought you just moved to that place, but corporate.
No, I wish.
Maybe
God, I
later.
fucking wish.
Maybe later.
No, I
Do
don't.
they even have a corporate place here in Phoenix?
I don't think it's in Phoenix.
It was left out.
Yeah. Well, you said it. I mean, it was
On the
implied.
shirt. Well,
Sure.
you left Uber now, so who cares? Fuck that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. That's exactly it.
Uh,
Well, how do you read this?
let me see. Why? Because it like it's all. Well, it's the number 450, and it's phthalocyanine blue. So phthalocyanine blue.
Cyan? I could have just said cyan.
It's not cyan though. That's not a cyan at all. It's a dark blue.
What is cyan?
Cyan is like a light turquoise.
Like that?
No, that's blue. It's a darker. That's a different blue.
What kind of blue is that?
That I would say that's true blue.
That's aquamarine, dude.
Aqua.
Look at this. This is
Dark
cyan.
That's not cyan. You
It's
see like a RGB where it's like the yellow, the
it's
pink.
cyan.
No. Cyan is I don't have any. Oh, like this shirt is cyan. Like this is closer to a
That's baby bird blue.
baby boy's bird blue.
Baby boy's first bird blue.
Baby boy's first blue. The first blue they see. To be fair, this is like pretty close.
Wasn't
to
my
like,
last blues. I'll tell you that.
no,
There's
it never
Blues
will be.
Clues.
I don't remember Blues Clues.
I didn't know Vermilion was like orange or red.
I always thought Vermilion was like green or blue.
I thought it was
sounded-
like a yellow because of Pokemon.
I thought it was blue even then. Because I saw the word Vermilion and I was like, yeah, that sounds green to me.
It's green to me.
Vermilion City. What city? What's...
That's Lieutenant Surge. That's the Electric City. That's why I thought it would be
yeah,
yellow.
Guys, we're going to be painting today while we do our podcast.
While we do the podcast. So that way, if you're bored of hearing us talk, you can hear us paint. What are you going to paint?
I was just thinking that because I looked over and
You
realized
have
I don't have any paint. And I
Yeah,
was like,
you
I
have
guess
something worse than me. You have an empty canvas. At least I have something like paint
you're
between the
filling
lines.
Guys, here it is so far. I haven't even put thought into it yet.
You should.
Think about
You need something to give you inspiration.
it. I don't necessarily need it.
Meta.
What's going on over there?
Paint something for Chris.
For Chris,
Yeah, Chris Scott. For his meta thing.
I'll paint my hat.
That'd be pretty cool.
But no.
Okay. It's a good hat. You don't want to... What, somebody's leaving the house and you're upset about it?
I forget sometimes we have neighbors that are alive. Especially that one.
Like that time...
Oh, buddy, you get him.
Buddy.
He's already gone.
He's gone.
Dude, did he walk really fast or is he like...
No, he's on a
Oh,
bike.
he's on a bike.
You're so dumb.
That boy was zooming. Like 1 minute I saw him open his door, next minute he's down the street.
I am missing a color or something.
I don't have any paintbrushes.
They're right here.
I don't have any paint.
Well, the paint's right here.
These big brushes, that's fine.
I'm gonna light this.
Yeah.
This is my citronella candle, guys. Because I hate bugs.
Hey, the citronella candle, I'm gonna say it right now, I don't like the scent, but I appreciate the job it does. How about that flu, H3N2? You hear about that?
No.
We're like in the midst of like...
What is this flow? Oh, it's a string.
I said we're in the midst of an American flu epidemic currently.
Oh, yeah. I already had it.
That's crazy. I don't think I got it, unless that's what I had when I went to the hospital. But
No.
I never had flu symptoms.
Yeah.
I had anxiety.
You can't hog the palette.
Here, take it. If you know what you're doing.
I do.
Buddy.
Guys, I started gardening recently.
Me too,
And
but
Laszlo did
Eric
too.
more so. I'm just now starting. Eric's already been doing it for a bit.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that.
I started... Gosh. I started before I got Buddy.
That true?
Yeah.
Guys, there's a dog here. I don't know if you see him, but his name's Buddy.
I also got a dog. I've been trying to improve my life recently, and I think I've been doing a good job.
It's true. Buddy, come up here. He still doesn't like me. He's
He tolerates
significantly
you.
better, but
He...
I can see in his eyes that he'd rather I die like at any moment. Like, you give me the eyeballs, even though he's letting me pet him.
I should just paint this whole thing
Paint it.
green, and then go over it again in darker brushes.
That's a grand idea.
I also started painting a bit and drawing. I'm trying to focus on things that I actually enjoy doing.
You know what? I'm gonna take a slurp of that blue. Oh, I guess that's the blue I want.
Oh, did you want the other one?
It literally doesn't matter. That's part of art.
That is part of art.
Have you ever like completed a painting when you're trying to do the background where it's all the same type of stroke, or do you like keep switching?
For the background?
Because here, like an example is like one person could just keep doing this way,
Yeah.
but I always like switch it up, and then I feel like you could see it in the art that it's like not consistent.
Well, then you just paint over it.
No.
Well, then, yeah, you just fuck up your painting.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Everybody has their own style.
Well, that's the thing, is like it might not necessarily matter, but I just remember in like 3rd grade I had an art teacher that told us if we like switch stroke styles in the middle of it, then it's bad.
It's not bad, it's just that it's noticeable.
It's
Like it
inconsistent.
draws
Like,
attention
yeah.
away from the subject of the painting.
Okay, alright.
I want to go to the art museum again. I haven't been in a while.
Would love to go to the art museum.
What day is today? Friday? It's not free.
No, it'll be
Oh, I'd
Wednesdays
prefer
during
to-
summer, right?
There's no way I'll be able to go on a Wednesday. I work on Wednesdays.
Well, you can pay next time you go.
What time is it open till?
I don't know.
That's open pretty late, I feel.
I know. I think it is. At least on the free Wednesdays, it's open until 9.
Oh, well, I get off work at 6, so if you head straight there, that's plenty of time.
Well, yeah, because the free Wednesdays, You only get in free between 6 and 9.
Oh.
Like, it's open all day, but you can't show up till nighttime for the free Wednesday. But any other time,
Here,
you
you
can
take it.
Any other time, you can just pay. I honestly don't think it's that much. From what I've never paid to go there.
I'd ask, but my phone is recording right now, so I don't want to screw it up.
I could look that up.
You could. You do have a phone, and you're not doing anything.
I'm painting. I'm painting. I'm talking. I'm thinking.
I'm walking.
What movies are you excited for this year?
I want to see Hostiles. I saw a little review for it earlier today, and it seems like it'd be a good movie.
I can't wait for that. What about that movie I sent you guys to? Uh-oh, buddy.
Buddy.
Go check if it's still recording.
It is.
If it is, don't even cut it out. That's part of it, dude. What?
I got a little shot of Buddy.
Well, good. See the criminal at work. It's not Buddy's fault.
Man. There we go. You're still out of frame.
Am I here now?
Yeah, and I think I just need to sit closer in frame.
Like closer over here?
Yeah. Oh. Hey, buddy.
So Oscar season are coming up. We haven't really done an Oscars podcast yet, so we could do that.
That could be our podcast right now. I haven't seen too many Oscar movies.
Well, it's because the nominations haven't come out yet, so we don't know what are going to be Oscar movies.
Well, I mean, the Golden Globes came out. The Golden Globes have come and passed, and those are usually a good tip.
A good tip, yes, but you technically don't know.
Like Darkest Hour.
Did that get nominated for anything?
Yeah.
It didn't win anything.
I believe Gary Oldman won.
I lied.
Which means if he wins the Oscar, three billboards out Ebbing, Missouri.
That's definitely
3 billboards outside.
One of my favorite movies
of the year.
This Oscar season, yeah.
Get Out was snubbed.
Get Out was snubbed, even though I would say it was the best movie of 2017. I love that movie. That movie's so good.
So you would say that's your favorite of 2017?
That's my favorite of 2017. I even made a list of my top movies of the year. And I'll bring it out in one moment. Here it comes.
I'm glad that you prepared for this podcast.
I prepared that for like 2 potential podcasts ago in your room. Let's see. Grocery list?
No, that's not it.
List of my albums?
No,
songs?
that's not it. I also made an album, by the way.
Oh yeah, I dropped a rap album. I guess that's a thing. If you go to SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Lingbao Laszlo, that's my rapper's stage name. And Lingbao Laszlo dropped the rap album. It's called The Rap Album by Lingbao Laszlo. Go check it out. I rap. I Lingbao. Where 2017 best movies. Here's my top 5 in order from best to least best.
This is what he wrote down.
Number 1. Get Out.
Is this the okay? So that's the top one. I hate when people say that and they do it from number 1 to number 5. It makes more sense to do it from number 5 to number 1.
Lead it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because why would you start with the top one? Now I don't want to listen to all the rest.
Yes, you did.
Maybe.
All right. Well, I gave you one just because we said it was the best movie. So now I'll lead you up from the bottom to the top again. So you know top's the best, but you already knew that Get Out would be best. Number 7. 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. It's my 7th favorite movie of 2017. Number 6 is It. Only saw it
once?
Twice.
Oh, I only saw it once.
I saw it twice, and I would have liked to have seen it more, but I just didn't. sometimes it happens.
It's on the Plex server, so I can watch it for free.
Oh, you know what's on Netflix now? A Serious Man. You can rewatch that movie.
Finally.
A Serious Man.
It was the first Blu-ray I ever bought.
Yep.
And probably
It's the first
Coen brother movie I think I've ever seen.
It awakened a part of my soul.
Same here.
It.
A Jewish part of my soul.
I wish. Number 5. The Big Sick.
Big Sick.
Love
was
that
really
movie.
Good. Big Sick was really good.
That's the only thing I'm going to say. I'm going to list the movie and just go, love that movie.
I love it. It was one of the best of
I'm getting
2017.
paint on your wood and not my canvas.
You're doing so good. That's fine. It's just wood.
Number 4. A Baby Driver.
Such a good movie.
That movie needs to win for best sound editing.
Sound editing.
Editing in general.
Yes.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Sound mixing.
I don't. Did I like whistle while talking?
I don't think so.
I don't think
It deserves any acting.
Angel or Angel Elsort is that great of an actor. I am fine.
The kid, it's not a good acting movie. It's a good editing
It's
movie.
definitely a good editing movie. Plus, it can't win Best Picture or anything else. It's got a rapist in it.
Oh, that's right. Kevin Spacey.
Jamie Foxx.
Are there allegations against Jamie Foxx too?
I wouldn't be surprised in this
my
day and
God.
age.
Sad.
Sad?
Number 3. Blade Runner 2049.
Really?
It's
That's
my
your number 3
favorite film of the year.
Did you see it other than that time we went to go see it?
I've seen that movie at least 4 times.
Dang, okay.
It holds up to the original Blade Runner, which is my number 1 favorite movie of all time.
That makes sense.
For someone that
so
isn't-
high,
For someone who isn't a fan of Blade Runner, I would say the new one is better than the old one because you can sit through it easier.
I'll disagree.
And I say that as someone who loves the original film so much.
2049 was a snooze fest.
I could see that. But I mean, so was the first one in a way.
I agree, and I
They're both slow
appreciate that
movies,
it can
but they're
keep
art.
with the aesthetic of that.
Well, okay, here's the thing. It keeps with the aesthetic a little bit, but it definitely introduces a completely new aesthetic, which is okay because it takes place in the future, and it makes sense that the styles have changed over like 30 years, right? 10, 20, 30 years, I believe.
Yeah.
So I accepted that. I wish it went a little deeper, but for what it was, pretty good. It'll never like hold up to like Vangelis's movie soundtrack.
That was pretty good. Who did the soundtrack for this one?
I don't know who. I thought it was good. I liked the music, but I mean, it's no like the original Blade Runner soundtrack's the only best music I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Plus the character in Blade Runner 2049, Ryan Gosling's character is like a type of character I always dream of. It's a,
Not to be.
just like
To
a
be
character
with.
I'd love to write.
Oh.
Character I love seeing like exist in like story of like straight up existential crisis android.
Yeah.
Just like an artificial person struggling with...
I gotta do this to 2 more goddamn frogs.
Well, you gotta do some more to the entire goddamn pot.
True.
Number 2. Oh! I don't think I was in frame for the camera, but a bird just came up here for a minute and then left. Landed right next to you. Did you see it?
No.
Oh, you didn't even see it?
No.
A little like brown sparrow straight up came up, sat on
Was it a
like...
sparrow?
It was one of the small brown birds.
Okay.
I don't know if it's exactly a
There's
sparrow.
There's a
or
hummingbird family. That
Oh, it's
comes
not a
up
hummingbird.
here. Okay.
I know what hummingbirds are.
That's why I was just surprised.
No,
it
it's more like
wasn't
a sparrow finch type bird.
Ah!
So it came up on the little bamboo fence you have right here.
The reeds.
Number 2. Brigsby Bear.
That is definitely on my top 5.
Brigsby Bear. It's my Mark Hamill as his character in Brigsby Bear. That was my impression. That movie, other than
That's
Get
one of
Out.
the most refreshing. Yeah.
Other than like Get Out, I would say Brigsby Bear is the best movie of the decade.
Which would make sense that it's on your number 2. But I agree with you.
Well, because Get Out is like all around like
good.
Well, Brigsby Bear is fantastic too, but
so what sets it apart? What differs?
What gets
Brigsby Bear
Get Out into number 1? I guess I guess because it is an indie film versus like a big budget film, so I was gonna say it's the production quality.
Get Out isn't even that.
Okay,
much
well then
more
yeah, I'm
big
gonna say
budget.
then the production quality.
Because Get Out only cost $2 million to make. We can make Get Out.
We cannot make Get Out.
It's only $2 million.
Only $2 million. I don't know if I'll ever own $2 million.
Not with that attitude.
That's true. The suspense in the film felt so real that I was like so invested in the main character that when the payoffs start coming, it felt so good and got you so hyped. Whereas there's not necessarily any like real big payoff in terms of the plot of Brigsby Bear. But Brigsby Bear, I like.
It's definitely a more enlightening and inspiring movie.
Yes. And it's one of our favorite boys.
Yes.
Of all time.
Good old Kyle Mooney.
Kyle Mooney.
Who we've been following for a long time.
Kyle Mooney used to be a boy on YouTube, but now he's a big movie boy. Well, first he was SNL, and now he's made his movie.
No, he was a YouTube boy.
I said he was YouTube and then SNL before movie.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, he was on YouTube for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because we used to only really watch Theater of Life more frequently
Good Neighbor.
than
But
Good
then
Neighbor.
we started watching more Good Neighbor.
And Kyle Mooney's solo stuff, I feel like, really stand out. I mean, Good Neighbor is good. Theater of Life is good.
Yes.
I every now and then I watch back, and sometimes, like you were discussing today, it's like I feel like the comedy.
I've moved on from that
comedy.
type of comedy, that like surreal type, or very like
making fun of other people and lowbrow jokes.
Yes.
Is what I would describe as what I've moved away from in terms of Theater of Life.
With Theater of Life, I can kind of appreciate it because it's not really...
It's not mean.
Making fun of people. It's basically just narration improv over life. You know, it's accurately titled.
I like this one. If I watched an episode, I'd probably laugh.
I'd probably laugh a couple times, I agree. There are some hit or miss episodes.
Oh yeah, definitely. Out of the two main characters of Theater of Life, who do you like more?
Beck.
Me too.
I don't like Nick that much.
I don't like Nick, and I don't mind that you don't really ever see him anymore. Sorry, Nick, if you're listening. Nick Rutherford.
Yeah, he.
Beck Bennett is the best in Theater of Life. Kyle Mooney is the best in YouTube. You know, the best of all.
Beck is the best in SNL too.
Yeah. Beck is very good on
But
SNL.
that's because he's got that handsome mug. He's featured
I think
more.
that's what helps too, like even subconsciously watching like Nick and Beck.
Oh yeah.
Beck just by default is a more charismatic and more physically attractive person.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, wow, this guy's jokes are really hitting me. Even though you really only hear his voice for 90% of the video. But he's got some good jokes.
In Theater of Life?
In Theater of Life. But like, I guess they're both good in Theater of Life behind the camera when it's just them talking.
Yeah.
But there definitely is when you see them both on screen.
Stage,
you gravitate towards Beck because he's just a good-looking guy. He's got that natural charisma within him. And well, he's just dang funny.
He is. He's a very funny boy. Oh, I like that Beck Bennett.
I like Beck Bennett. I like Kyle Mooney. I like Mike Felsen.
You know,
That's not related.
did Moana come out last year?
Last year?
Yeah. Or was that the year before?
That was the year before.
No. It came out last year.
No, because The Rock already went to the Oscars and they sang the Moana
You're
song
right.
at the Oscars.
Man, time flies.
And they didn't win, and they felt bad for Dwayne Johnson.
It wasn't even You're Welcome that was nominated, though.
No, but I mean, just the hype that, like, Moana was nominated for Best Animated.
Did it not win Best Animated? What did?
Some dumb movie, probably. They usually don't pick the Best Animated movie.
The true Best Animated movie?
Yeah, they're usually wrong when they pick it.
That's not true. They picked WALL-E.
Okay, well,
that
in
movie is a
recent
god.
years, not like 700 years ago, when WALL-E came out.
I remember do you know what the first Best Animated Feature category was? And who was in it?
It was Jimmy Neutron, Shrek, and I don't even know
Monsters,
who else.
Inc.
Oh, they came out?
Yeah.
Did Monsters, Inc. win?
Yeah.
Okay, I was going to say... I was
Monsters, Inc. won, and they were also, I think, nominated for Best Original Song, and they performed that at the Oscars, too.
Which song?
Oh, come on, you guys.
Billy Crystal, is that who voices Mike?
Yes.
Wazowski?
Mike Wazowski.
And then John Goodman?
John Stamos.
No. What's he up to? Probably making money somewhere.
Somewhere. Appealing to 40 and 50-year-old ladies.
Yeah. And 20-year-olds probably, if they're watching. Should we turn a light on?
Yeah, if you just go inside and turn the light on right in here, it'll turn a big old white bright light.
Well, that's exactly the kind of light I want. Well, I hit my dim-a-dang head. I'm going to move this a little bit.
What Disney movie came out last year?
Last year?
Yeah. I know Coco came out, but that's Pixar.
Coco,
But there was and Cars 3 came out too.
Cars 3. I feel like there's like a good amount of Disney movies came out this year. Star Wars, Marvel
movies.
but
The
Disney,
Thor movie was good.
Thor, yeah.
Thor 3 was really good. Just like Taika Waititi. So much so that I haven't seen any other movie besides
You haven't seen
Shadows, or What We Do in the
Into
Shadows.
the Wilder
Oh
Village?
God, not Dark Shadows. That's the Johnny Depp
shit.
vampire movie.
Just What We Do in the Shadows,
Yes,
which is a great movie.
fantastic.
No, let's think. Disney movies. What merchandise has been selling a lot that could help us? Like,
Coco,
yeah, what was before Coco and Cars? That might have been it.
possibly.
I don't know. There's no Disney princess movie that came out this year, is there? There's no like Moana. There's no.
Maybe last year Disney got 2 movies. They got Moana and something else.
Well, there was Moana and. When was The Good Dinosaur?
I was working at AMC at that time, so that was not last
It was
year.
a bad movie, even though it was a good dinosaur.
It was a very bad movie.
It was so boring.
Right? For dinosaurs.
I mean, I'm not that invested in dinosaurs.
Finding Dory came out the year before.
Oh.
Not last year, though. The year before.
That was
Also
the
not
sound
that
of me
good.
reacting to that film. Oh. Fuck, I don't know. Let's look up Disney movies of 2017.
Let's go through all the Disney movies and give them our own personal rating. Not like all the Disney ones, but like the animated ones. The big boys. You know what movie is good? What documentary is good? The Boys.
Yes, it is. All right. Wow. We were right. 2017, you had Coco and Cars 3.
Yeah.
Both good.
And then the year before was Moana and Zootopia.
That's
they switch
right.
off.
And Zootopia won, and I got mad because I liked Moana more.
I like Zootopia
I like
more.
Zootopia, but I like Moana more.
Moana was nice, but it was just too plain.
What's Inner Workings? Oh, that's the short film that happened before.
Yes, I love that one.
And there's Finding Dory,
It's
Pete's
got
Dragon.
that huge, big butt red lady.
Inside Out came out the year of The Good Dinosaur.
Mm-hmm. So Pixar had 2 movies, then Disney had 2 movies, Pixar had 2 movies. Next year, Pixar has Incredibles 2. I don't know what Disney has.
What about 2009?
12,009?
2009. Well, a lot of Disney movies in 2009.
Not Up. What was after that?
It was Up, The Princess Frog, Tinkerbell and the Lost Treasure, G-Force, Waking Sleeping Beauty, and Christmas Carol.
Waking Sleeping Beauty. That one's so good too.
What about 2011?
I don't remember.
Well, it was Cars 2, Winnie the Pooh, Mars Needs Moms.
Mars Needs Moms was terrible. They lost so much money on that movie.
Romeo and Juliet. That's
Okay.
a Disney movie?
Yeah, I liked the first one. The second one, they
Looks
traded
bad.
off to a different company. They sold the rights to it, and now it looks bad.
Research 2018 Disney movies.
Do it.
Well, I'm doing it right now. We have
You know what movie I tolerated last year? Jumanji.
overrated or underrated?
I say it's overrated.
Oh yeah.
I think people...
I say it's better than my expectations,
Yeah.
but it does not reach the...
I kept
praise.
hearing similar things though, like from everybody. Like, you know what? It wasn't as bad as I thought. And I was like, well,
That's
I'm
all you
gonna
have
go
to do
in
to get
thinking
successful now.
Well, but then I went in thinking like, well, it's not gonna be as bad as I think it
Oh.
is, and then it was bad as I thought
went
it would
in thinking that I was seeing the original.
be. So you were in for a surprise.
I was in for...
You were in for a big
A
surprise.
big one.
I like that you just sat through it too, and you were just like, huh.
What was I going to do? Leave the theater?
You could have been like, oh, is it showing like the new one, or I thought it was the old one, because they had the old picture on there.
Yeah, but I figured I'd just watch it. I was already there.
Yeah.
I was inevitably
Then
going
you've
to
already
check it out.
seen the original.
I haven't seen that one in a long time.
You know what movie's good? Gremlins.
Yeah.
Do you like the first or the second one more?
The second one
Yes.
took me. Did I watch the first one?
Yeah, we watched it recently. We
did.
went to the theater to watch it, remember?
That's right. Okay, hold on. Let me think now.
Because the first one is good. Like, it, in all senses of the word, it is a good movie.
I
words.
think I will still say Gremlins 2 is better.
And I will
because
agree with you. It's insane.
It understands that it's a movie that shouldn't be taken seriously, and then it's just good fun.
I love the story behind it. That Joe Dante, they asked him to make a second Gremlins movie. He's like, okay, but I want full control of it. And they're like, yeah, okay. I mean, what is he gonna do?
2018
Get the
Disney
Hulk involved? The Hulk Hogan.
Oh, that's right.
Gremlins in my theater? Okay, you Gremlins. Line of
Let's get Hulk Hogan on our next podcast.
Oh, let's get him in our movie.
Hulk. The Hogan. What's his real name?
Thaddeus J. Hogan.
That can't be right.
It has to be. It's something sillier than Hulk Hogan.
First I'll do a list of 2018 Disney movies, and then we'll
You'll look up
Hulk
the
Hogan.
important stuff.
We got Incredibles 2,
Yeah, I'm excited. Oh, God.
A Wrinkle in Time,
That's right. That's the one directed by Ava DuVernay.
Han Solo,
Yeah.
Ralph Breaks the Internet,
The second Wreck-It Ralph movie. That's right.
Mary Poppins Returns,
Oh, shit. That's the sequel to Mary Poppins.
Nutcracker and the Four Realms,
I'm not excited
I don't know
about
what the
that.
fuck
But
that
it is just the Nutcracker.
Christopher Robin.
Yeah. they
That already
announced
came
that.
out, didn't it?
No, the one not made by Disney came out. The one with Ian McGregor?
Oh, the Domhnall Gleeson one hasn't come out yet?
No.
Oh, I'm glad, because I kept seeing that Christopher Robin, Goodbye Christopher Robin, thinking it was the Domhnall Gleeson one, and I got sad that I didn't see it in theaters.
Maybe that is the one then. Because this one was just announced.
Yeah, this one is the one that is not yet out is the Ewan McGregor one. The one
Yeah.
that has came and went was the
The Domhnall Gleeson.
Domhnall Gleeson.
At least we have the other Domhnall Gleeson movie to look forward to.
which one? Star
Peter
Wars.
Rabbit.
Peter Rabbit. Can't wait. I want to see Paddington 2 now.
I need to watch the first one.
Oh, you need to.
Did you like it?
I love Paddington now.
A lot of people do. Apparently, he's a very likable bear.
It's a wholesome movie. There's like, it's a silly movie.
I've heard
it's a warm movie.
I've heard it's like a Wes Anderson movie for kids.
Oh, that's a good description of it.
Yeah.
It's got Sally Hawkins in it.
A kid's guide to Wes Anderson.
Through a very nice, it's a very British movie.
I haven't seen The Shape of Water, and I'm still upset
about it.
Let's
see
I
it
don't
tonight.
even want to.
What?
Hear you.
Why?
Talk about this movie.
Why?
I want to see it.
Well, let's go see it.
Okay. What time is it?
It is.
I want to rewatch it.
1:06. I want to rewatch it too. I love that movie.
It is so good. I've been trying to convince my mom.
I was afraid of seeing it.
I know.
I didn't want to see it, but I was like, I don't know. I really like Finn Wolfhard, and it's got these good reviews. And I went and saw it, and I fucking love that movie.
That's like one of the best coming-of-age movies in a while.
Yeah, dude. God, that movie's good. Good.
What else can you say, huh? That movie's good.
There's nothing more to say. Just there were some pretty good movies this year. Makes me feel confident for the future. That like in the midst of like all the bad movies that will inevitably come out, there are still people that make good art.
Yeah.
There's always going to be good movies.
The new Godzilla TV series came out on Netflix, and I really want to watch that. Only if there's a Japanese dub, though, because I watched the trailer thinking it was it was going to be Japanese, and it was in English, and it was very, very disappointing. You can't, at least if you're going to do an English dub, you need to at least change the super Japanese names, in my opinion.
You mean like if they're gonna talk in English, change the names they're using?
Yes.
So it's not
like, yeah, so it's not like just super culturally different. Like if you're gonna want to go, if you want to hear the actual Japanese names and stuff and like be true to the source material, just listen to it and watch it with the subs
people
on.
that can't handle subtitles. I don't know, maybe they can't read fast enough.
That's exactly what it is, and they don't want to fucking admit it, so they overcompensate and they're like, yeah, exactly.
It's like, no, because every now and then I'll worry that I'm like not technically taking in the whole picture, but I'm able to read it and still see the camera shot. If it goes quickly, then
listen,
that's why I see it.
Don't watch anime unless you fully know Japanese and you live in Japan. Get all anime out of America, please. Thank you.
My favorite anime is SpongeBob. My favorite animated series.
My favorite anime is Ed, Edd and Eddy.
Would you say it's truly your favorite cartoon?
No. I would say that it was hugely inspirational for my childhood
it's
humor.
It's a very important show, but I would say it's not my favorite cartoon by far.
Gosh.
Mine is SpongeBob.
I would say SpongeBob.
I don't necessarily love it anymore, but it was very important to me when I was younger.
Looney Tunes was huge for me. Rocko's Modern Life.
I like Rocko's Modern Life. I did not see it till I was older. A lot of those shows I did not see when I was younger. I saw some Ren and Stimpy, but not at my house.
You know, I wasn't allowed to watch Ren and Stimpy when I was a kid.
Rugrats. Rugrats is better than SpongeBob.
Rugrats
is the best cartoon
probably
of all
my
time.
favorite show. I can still watch some of the old episodes.
Oh, hell
when
yeah,
it's
dude.
not just like, yeah, we're babies. Well, when it is just like, yeah, we're babies, we're doing our thing. But when they got stuff, the newer stuff kind of was just like,
honestly, like pre-Dill.
Yeah. Anytime they have to add a character is when you know. The movie was okay. It's a movie-worthy event.
Yeah.
But then kill him after the movie.
Tommy was about to.
He
should have.
Ooh.
What if they went that route?
Cried. I had to watch that movie with my mom and my brother in the theaters. And when that scene came up, we were just all a mess. Oh, the second.
Why? Because you thought about killing Jeremy before?
You got the paint?
No, yeah.
Oh, I picked the wrong paint.
Why, are you doing the yellow brush?
Yeah, I need the yellow. Stop moving it, please.
Sorry. When do we have to leave for the Roberts thing?
Like 6:50.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
We got plenty of time. Megan sent us a video on Snapchat.
Ooh.
I don't know about us, but I'm assuming.
Yeah. What would she send just you? Guys, write down in the comments below.
Comments below. What do you think Megan would
send
exclusively send me and not all of us? Most people don't even
Including
know who
you
the fuck
guys.
Megan is.
Well, they'll have to guess. It's Megan McClellan.
Megan McClellan. That sounds like a
Sounds
easily
like,
realistic name.
sounds like somebody we went to high school with and I accidentally said the name.
Oh, you knew a real Megan McClellan?
No. I don't know. It sounds familiar. I probably do know a Megan McClellan subconsciously or something.
It's because
It's a...
it's a real name right there.
I'll look up Megan.
Just like Shirley O'Shanigan. Guys, I'm DMing a new D&D campaign, and this boy right next to me is one of the players.
It's pretty good.
College
for his
Flow, should we
first
talk about D&D more often? There are full podcasts about D&D. I was trying to listen to one last night on my drive home from school before, and like not like a podcast that's like a person's campaign, because I didn't want to get. I was trying to find podcasts like talking about like elements in like D&D to like get me into the mood,
it's just people playing their own games, and you listen.
No, I found a podcast of people talking about it, but it took them like so long to get to what the topic was, because it was just them like essentially just hanging out with like the guest celebrities and just them like just talking to each other and like cracking jokes. And I got mad and like while driving like kept skipping, like, when are you gonna fucking talk about the point? And then I got mad because I realized that the like group that they were part of was just their title name and not what the topic was about.
Yeah.
Because it was called Encounter Role Playing. So I thought they were actually gonna talk about like discuss like elements of like how to role play like random encounters in the game, and I was like, perfect, since I need like some tips for like DMing. But no, just Encounter and Roleplay was the name of like where these people were from, and they weren't talking about anything I was interested in, and I got really annoyed, and I was like, never again, I'm never gonna listen to someone else's D&D podcast.
And that's all he has to say about that.
All I gotta say about that is sometimes you just gotta get to the point, or like this, where it's not necessarily a podcast about a real topic, and then you don't have to worry.
Just set your standards low, and then you can turn our podcast on.
What about some other better podcasts? How about Only Stupid Answers?
Let's talk about
Let's talk about other people's podcasts that you'd rather be listening to. Only Stupid Answers and Dynamic Banter are my favorite podcasts right now.
They're good podcasts. I enjoy listening to NPR.
Oh yeah.
I always listen
On
to...
Being.
I don't know what that is.
On Being is with Krista Tippett. It's kind of like a... I was going to say it's like an NPR, as in it's not like a comedy podcast.
Yeah.
It's this woman, she interviews different... It's like a scientific podcast or like a personal life podcast with a slight emphasis on all of the people being interviewed are religious. And so it's like scientific blending with religion. Like they do... I think her name was... Followed her on Instagram for a while. It wasn't, not Instagram, on just Twitter. She was Jewish, and she talked about how for their Shabbat, they put away all their technology on Sundays. Like her and her husband and her kids.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just don't use their phones for like a full, I think, Sunday. And then that like Sunday night, Monday morning. So like Saturday night, all the way into Sunday night, they don't use their phones, they don't access any technology.
That's what they're supposed to do.
And it really just chills them out. And she said it like gets her hyped, because she gets more appreciation for using her like smartphone like right afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, I can look that topic up now. And I was like,
so weaning herself off of it for one day, and she's like, hell yeah, can't wait to use my phone again.
yeah, but in a better way, or I guess just acknowledging it. It's interesting, but then sometimes it depends. A lot of the people being interviewed I didn't connect with, and so I usually don't finish a full podcast.
So it's just interviewing people of like different faiths. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
Like one was recently, like And they're usually poets or philosophers or authors.
I think it would be interesting if they could do that without coming off as like too preachy or something.
Oh, that's not preachy at all.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, if it's just like a little sit down, it's like, hey, tell me about this. So
yeah, and it's usually like their whatever their not necessarily their religious views like ever, but that is like how that plays into their life background or their upbringing. Like one lady was practicing mindfulness, but not like she had never studied Eastern religion, so she came up with her like own version of mindfulness.
Yeah.
And another dude was about how he was not religious for a long time and like how he, I don't know, like rediscovered God after getting cancer.
Shit.
Because like he grew up like very religious because he grew up in like Texas and then he moved out of Texas, and when he wasn't living at home he was like, I don't have to be religious. So he completely left it for a long time and then it kind of like seeped back in.
Yeah.
It's like talking about how that happened for him, or like what that like means in terms of like his like psychology and his personality.
I'm loving how easily this red is spreading on me.
That is a good red, but what's it supposed to be?
It's supposed to be red. This is the Scarlet.
Scarlet what?
O'Hara.
What's a Scarlet O'Hara?
An actress. She was in Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Where to?
Wherever it blows.
The east. What direction does wind blow in? Does it blow in either direction?
No. Wind does not have a compass.
Wow, dude. You need to be on being.
It's not like a religious fact. It's just a
That's some
fact.
real philosophy right there.
Wind has no compass.
Hey, man. So the ties between Jediism and Taoism are stronger than I ever realized.
Well, they had to pull from somewhere.
Yeah, but like now, like having taken a Taoism class, it's like, watching Last Jedi made me like, oh man, I want to go home and like do some like Taoist stuff, like read some Taoist texts.
I need to rewatch Last Jedi. I only saw it once, and I'm afraid to see it again.
First time I liked, it was okay. You know, our reaction for the first time.
Yeah.
Second time I liked it a little more. Third time I liked it a little more because I like the characters themselves. Fourth time I wanted to take a nap. It was an issue where, because the first half of the film is so not the goodest, I was like, can we skip to like
the good parts?
Scenes? I was like, can we skip to the last third of the movie when you get interested? And I was like, oh, but I didn't want to sleep in the movie theater.
It's so far and few in between of like good stuff.
It's all over the place too.
It really is. And then when people say it's a change,
I was like, it is a change.
It is a change, but that doesn't mean I gotta like it.
The issue is that the topics that it explored, they didn't go far enough.
I agree.
They needed to go way deeper. And it was just a big old
circle. It was a big cock tease, in my opinion, with like the secrets and lore. And it's like, why would you do that in the first place then? We wanted to alienate our biggest audience and fans of the movies for a very long time and throw them for a loop. Because that's just what we do here at Disney. There's no consistency. There's never been consistency in this company. Just kidding.
Boy.
I have some strong feelings about the way that the company is headed, but that's for another time.
I just wish, well, yeah, because I feel bad because it's like they set up so much like Luke, and then he was done in the worst way.
Yeah.
And I wish, like, I like the direction he was going in.
I wish it was more heroic than just being a ghost.
I don't care about that part.
That's it. Spoiler warning, folks. You are entering the no-spin zone.
Just like my other podcast the other night. From this point on, because the other podcast I did the same thing. I tried to be spoiler-free. I was like, okay, just stop listening.
It's been
we're gonna
over a month.
Okay.
Just about.
Yeah, it's been about a month or...
Yeah, it's been
the 16th. So, it's been over a month. I liked that he was gonna go burn the fucking Jedi temple.
Yes,
and then Yoda was like here, and he's like, oh, maybe I shouldn't. And then Yoda was like, I'll fucking do it.
Fucking burn it.
I mean, it's true.
That. Yes.
I mean, that's the true.
And no one better than Yoda to do it.
Yeah. Like that, I loved. And I was like, that scene of them sitting there watching the burning.
Yes.
I was like, that's a Taoist painting right there. That's two Taoist masters sitting there. That was good. If you look at the fountain in the room when he's telling Rey that the Jedi Order failed, because he's explaining how at the fucking height of the Jedi Order was when the Sith rose to power.
Yeah.
Because of fucking the resistance of Anakin. That fountain is a fucking yin-yang.
Is it?
Like, it's a
just straight up light and dark.
It's a straight up yin-yang with a Jedi in between.
Yin-yang?
No. It's the yin and the yang.
More like the yin and the wrong.
I don't know, dude. I took the Taoism class.
But I saw Star Wars once.
They don't use yin or yang in Star Wars.
I know.
Or yin or yang,
I know. I'm getting your goat, and it's working. Continue.
No, yeah. It's straight up just a Jedi sitting, and then a white and a black, and then the white dot and the black dot, because it's the yin within the yang.
Right.
Yang within the yin. It's a constant cycle. I wish they were gonna go the like gray Jedi or shadow Jedi route.
Me too.
Of like exploring the Force without the like having the politics of light and dark.
I hate how they had so much hype around Snoke and who he was.
And then now he's as far as we know, nobody. It doesn't matter.
Dead and nobody. Like he had to be someone. Because Leia calls him by name. He is the supreme leader.
Yeah.
And then he's just cast aside.
He's dead.
But hey, Star Wars is changing, guys. You just gotta admit it, or else you're racist or sexist.
I am racist and sexist. That movie gave no screen time to Finn and Rose.
They did.
They had a pointless plotline.
They gave them a lot of useless screen time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, they didn't give them valid. They did. If this movie didn't have their characters, nothing would have changed.
Nope.
And I hate that because Finn was so interesting in the first film, and they just wrote him off as he's just this dude that's tried to ditch twice. And I am interested in the route of them exploring the live free, don't join. Of him just like, I'm not gonna fucking join this pointless war.
Yeah, because he already saw it from the other side, and he's like, "There's no point."
Both, and I think that's what they're trying to get at too, with the fact that no one fucking responded to their distress signal.
Yeah,
because
it's like nobody cares about this fight.
It's
anymore.
like us right now, and then like another country is like at war and it has nothing to do with us.
You mean like us and ISIS?
No.
It's like it's terrorists versus a established government.
I guess, yeah, but it's like, I guess your government is fighting someone else, it doesn't matter.
Like,
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so like, there's a bus attack, right? And we're all up in arms about it for a week, and then we're going, oh, on to the next thing. And then it happens again, it's like, oh man. And then the amount of time that we grieve is less and less, to the point where it's like, hey, we need people to sign up for the army. It's a pointless cause. It's just gonna, our generation is becoming more and more nihilistic. As we progress, more and more nihilistic and self-deprecating. Self-deprecating humor is now the mainstream humor in our culture, especially for millennials.
Yeah.
Like, look at what culture and music millennials get into, like that Xanax culture. Just don't care about anything, and it's a terrible, terrible trend to get into.
Yeah.
It's said that we're not millennials.
We are millennials.
Millennials are the generation after us. We're Generation Z.
Are you sure about it? Depends, because there's different. Let me look it up. Millennial years.
Millennials would be people who just graduated.
The Pew Research Center defines millennials being born from 1981 onwards.
Really?
However, Neil Howe defined millennials as between 1982 and 2004. Generation Z.
Maybe I'm a millennial and I just don't see eye to eye with other people on
I think there's multiple categorizations.
Possibly. Either way, I hate labels regardless. Like, I'm not a millennial. I'm a guy. Not even a guy. I'm just a human.
We wouldn't even
Still
be
a
Generation Z. We would be Generation Y.
Generation Y? As in, why bother?
We are millennials, but also Generation Y. They're the same thing. Because Generation Y is 1980 to 1994, which we are like right at the end of that.
I wish I could have...
And then Mark would be Generation Z and also millennial.
Makes sense.
I like the asterisk next to if still alive today. Wow, the youngest age, if they were still alive, the lost generation would be 103 years old.
We should make a podcast where we just talk bad about one specific friend.
One friend?
Yeah.
Just,
So, like, say if we chose Mark, that would be called the Don't Tell Mark podcast.
the Don't Tell Mark podcast. And it's like, wow, what did Mark do this week?
Let's talk about Mark
this week. We could do that.
Everybody, please remember, don't tell Mark about this podcast.
You know, I'm going to use some of that white, too.
Yeah, you should paint.
I've been waiting for this to dry, and now I'm going to paint over it with
Gotcha.
a little guy, maybe. Well, hold on. Should it be white?
I'm
Or should it
liking
be
how
orange?
this is coming out already. I'm liking this a lot.
I mean, maybe a little bit of orange. Or is this orange or is this red?
Which one? The one that I used is red. It's a scarlet red. The other one is the vermilion.
So they're both red.
I'm liking how this is coming out. Uh-oh. What other color should I... Blue?
Blue is the best possible flower color.
I'll do blue. Red, white, and blue. Also, I've been noticing... Okay. I guess I'll just come out and say it. I think I've successfully red-pilled. Do you know what that means?
I think so.
Yeah. Because I don't. But I've successfully had, like, my views changed. I've been frequenting 4chan a lot lately and looking at political threads. Because I like to try to stay informed on both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
And, figure it out myself. But boy, oh boy, there are either a lot of people, I'm not even going to try to defend them. There's a lot of racist people on there.
Oh, yeah.
But there are people, yeah, it's insane.
For which side? Both sides?
Yeah, both sides. Like, there are people that are racist, just bluntly racist. And then there are people that are trying to defend themselves, saying they're not racist. And they're, like, extremely left-leaning. And I was like, whoa, that's a pretty racist sentiment. As if, like, people of color can't fend for themselves.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that when people say that. They're like, well, they have no voice. And it's like, hold on. They do. Blue, that's right.
Oh, this is good.
What other movies are coming out this year?
This year? What about that movie I sent you the trailer for in the group chat? The new Joaquin Phoenix and Jonah Hill.
Oh,
That's about that famous cartoonist.
I didn't even see the trailer. I gotta watch it.
Oh, it's a Joaquin Phoenix
And Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill looks
It's
really good.
It's Don't Worry, He Can't Get Too Far on Foot.
Yeah.
Such a weird, brilliant title.
It's from one of the guy's comics. The direct comic is two cowboys, like sheriffs, and they're on horses, and they're looking at an empty wheelchair in the middle of the desert, and one cop says, "Don't worry, you can't get far on foot." So the fact that he's a fucking dude in a wheelchair.
Right.
And the context is the artist, he was this famous cartoonist, I believe, in Portland?
Who?
His name is...
Is it Gary Larson?
No, it's like John something.
Because
It's a very
that sounds
normal name.
That sounds like a very John Larson-esque cartoon.
Well, the guy was a paraplegic after a car accident when he was 20.
Then it wasn't Gary
years
Larson.
old. So he made a lot of crude drawings pushing his little hands together.
Yeah.
And he made cartoons, and
It's
a lot
Joaquin
of his
Phoenix.
a lot of his cartoons were, I guess, not politically correct, and so a lot of people got mad about it. Or he said, as long as I can get the disabled community to laugh, I don't give a fuck about anyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just jokes that made people like him in the disabled
People are
community.
so dumb to not understand humor, and it bugs the shit out of me.
Let's see. Let's look up this artist's name. No, get out of here. Joaquin Phoenix. What an actor.
Indeed.
It's about John Callahan is the name of the
Sounds
guy. He was a famous cartoonist. Gus Van Sant originally planned to make this movie in the 90s starring Robin Williams as John Callahan.
Oh.
But now it's Joaquin Phoenix instead of Robin Williams.
I'm really upset that Robin Williams is still dead.
He'll come back eventually, dude.
It makes me realize that wishes aren't real. Because somebody would have wished him back to life.
They just haven't got the right lamp. That's such a good blue and yellow for that.
Yeah, I know.
It's so nice. You're going to show my canvas to you.
I'm gonna see.
Well, then take a peek.
I like a little fox.
I intend to make it a fox, but I chose that color, and now I love it. So it's good. It's done. So I made the art. What color is that last one?
The last one.
Oh, the one you painted white. Never mind.
It
Actually, no, there's one more you haven't painted yet.
Where?
The frogs are sitting on something.
Oh, that's just gonna be green. They're lily pads. These are the lily pads, and these are the lily flowers.
Are there any plant species that could have like such a varied amount of flower color in one pad?
Yeah. Hibiscus.
Or they're all connected and then each one is a completely different color?
Not completely different. And it won't be like each one.
Accuracy of your painting project.
Maybe they're different plants. Maybe they're all separate.
That's true. There's a couple pads up here. That would be pretty remarkable though. If you got one plant budded, so many look like different species.
Well, you can do that with roses and some other blooming plants. If you change their soil and the chemicals in the soil, you can get them to bloom different colors.
Oh yeah, there's a whole art to being a rosarian, and tweaking the roses to make new colors. And
there's no blue roses. There's no naturally blue roses.
Make them.
Well, people have. But they're hybrids of roses and other flowers.
I don't know if I've ever seen a blue rose. Could be my favorite one. My favorite rose, other than the potential blue, is orange. Orange roses are nice. Red roses, boring.
I think
Pink roses, boring.
I have
white roses, boring.
Bright red
black
roses,
boring.
Cool. I've never seen natural black roses though.
Yeah.
They've always been spray painted. Or dead.
Blue would be cool. Purple.
Purple would be a nice one. So they have purple ones.
Green roses.
That's interesting. But that would be boring. It would have to be a lime green or something. Also, it would just match the stalk.
Just one big plant. There's no end to it. Done. Show the audience what you've done. He's been painting this whole time, guys.
I know.
You even painted the little froggy eyes.
Yeah, I've just painted over them.
That's good. You still have some to do to the bowl unless you're going to leave it just like that?
I'll leave it there for now and we'll go get some dinner before we get to the show.
That's a great idea. I love getting dinner.
Guys, thanks for joining us in our painting podcast.
Much.
We'll see you on the next one.
Yep.
Where it's a Laszlo and Eric breakdance podcast.
Oh, it could
We
be.
always do something different when we're doing a podcast. We're
That's
either
the
just
thing.
sitting.
We're hanging out.
Yep.
Maybe on LSD.
Maybe. Oh boy.
I still haven't uploaded the full recording of that.
I
just
haven't
used
listened to
samples
it.
of it.
I haven't even listened to it. I'm too afraid to.
You've listened to some of it if you actually listen to my album.
I did, and that's when I heard that, I was so shocked. I was like, oh no, what is gonna be in here? Because I hadn't heard it.
I haven't listened
since.
to the full thing. I will say, towards the end, you can totally hear like the more I get annoyed with you guys, and like the more tired I get.
Yeah.
At first, it's like just conversation, and then it's like more and more like, no, let's just do this.
Yep. And what's funny is when I was on LSD at the time, and I heard that tone, I didn't pick it up as like annoyance. I picked it up as he's catching on, and you were worried. That's how I felt. Because at that point,
Worried
you were
about what?
Well, at that point, remember, you were a figment in my brain, and and I thought you were just trying to distract me from
You kept saying
leaving.
that. You kept repeating that.
Yeah, and so I thought that, and that's what I picked up on, and I was like, okay, to calm him down, I just gotta play along. And so, like, in my mind, it was just completely twisted, but it definitely, and I found this out too, that drugs really do expand your thought track.
Oh yeah, totally.
And I would say LSD, definitely a special occasion type of thing. Not all the time.
Yeah, no.
Especially since you can
Well,
build up a
especially because
tolerance.
LSD is synthetic.
Yes.
So if you're going to do something like that all the time, at least just do DMT.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, DMT is the way to go. It's the natural one. It's the spiritual one, if you are spiritual. Mushrooms, you can do those every now and then.
I had a bad trip on mushrooms.
Yeah, see, Nathan, well, I guess I shouldn't be saying this. It's up to Nathan to say.
He can explain it on the podcast if he wants.
Yeah. If Nathan wants to come on the podcast, talk about it.
This is
My dad-
everybody asks Nathan.
My dad said he likes to take a little bit of shrooms, like a lower dose than normal,
Mm-hmm.
so it doesn't really hit you. And then he used to like party crash when he was younger. Like he would just like take just a little bit of mushrooms and he would just like show up at parties. And
Did I
he would just
tell you
fucking
I
chill
did
with people.
coke?
No,
Did I ever
don't
tell you I
think so.
did coke? Yeah, I tried coke too.
Actually, no, I think you did tell me that.
Mm-hmm. And my girlfriend and I, we went to the Gilbert Farmers Market on coke, and then we snorted it on her laptop in the parking garage.
That's right,
there.
I remember that.
It was interesting. It definitely like wakes you up, because I was on 24 hours of no sleep, and I took one little hit.
I mean, there's a reason people
Yeah.
get hooked on that shit. 'Cause it helps.
Yeah. So, I would definitely do it again, but definitely and actually, I looked it up. Cocaine is actually less addicting than alcohol.
Oh yeah, alcohol is one of the worst.
Yeah.
That's why I don't drink.
I don't drink as much anymore.
It's good.
I actually haven't drank in a long time.
I like beer, but as you know, I've never been drunk. But man, some beer
It's not good.
smells good, tastes good. I was gonna say it is good,
Oh.
not good.
Yeah.
Some beer is so good.
All right, let's end it here.
All right,
Thanks for watching, guys.
Oh, the mosquitoes are coming.
Well, let's go inside.
Actually, there's no mosquitoes yet.
There was one earlier I saw.
He's off season. He's not supposed to be here. This phone is almost as warm as my phone when it's not being